have been supporting us all through. Even last year, we were with them. We are so grateful, feel appreciated, and part of this conference. I would like to know, since I'm trying to say that we have other delegates, but I think for today, Director, I'm referring to him because he's like the MC of the whole thing. We can have some self-introduction, just hi, because we are not, the others are still coming in for us before we start so that we connect. We may have people from outside. This is an international university. Some were not here yesterday. We can do some self-greeting, just hi like that. So I take this opportunity. We can start from the ICT. The ICT are with us. We need to hear who is with us in the room. Here, yes. The ICT team, you know, this is the day of AI. Yes. You can stand so that we see you.
Good morning.
Morning.
All protocols observed. I'm Marcus Woli, the instruments coordinator. Thank you.
Thank you so much. A clap.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Kimsey Dennis. Yeah.
Thank you. A clap.
Okay, good morning. My name is Joseph Kamenju. Yeah, from the media team and also the technical team. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. Moses Jero, my name, IT technician.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Dr. Samuel Mudomi Roimba. I'm a specialist in special needs education. That's my area of training. And also a trained CBC, trainer of trainers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Kwenga. I'm a lecturer at the Department of Computer Science and ICT, Tharaka University. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Kevin Tui. I'm the coordinator for Open Distance and E-Learning at Tharaka University, as well as a lecturer of computer science, especially with cloud computing, AI, and cyber security. Thank you.
Good. Yes. What about that? Next to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is James Kirimi. I'm a researcher in artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and cloud. I'm also in charge of network infrastructure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Dr. James Nyama. I'm a lecturer in the Department of Business Administration, specifically teaching accounting and finance. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, we move fast. Yes.
Okay, good morning.
Morning.
Alex Ubugi Muriong is my name. An economist and an exhibitor today. Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Patrick Kananupio. I teach English and linguistics here. I just ended my PhD program at the University of Edinburgh in the UK, so I'm just getting back to work.
You are a friend to Erickson. I know that. Yes.
Good morning. My name is Joaquin, a specialist in early years education, Chuka University.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
God is good.
All the time.
And all the time.
God is good.
My name is Elifas Kitare Kamandi, manager, Equity Bank, Chuka. I'm also a specialist in finance.
Okay.
And I'm a certified public accountant.
Oh, thank you so much.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Redenta from Equity Bank, Chuka.
Okay. Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Eric Kirimi from Transnation Circle. I'm also a specialist in procurement and a registered Kenya Institute of Supplies Management member. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Norway, senior lecturer teaching construction management, also consultant in the Norwegian construction industry.
Thank you. We appreciate our kids.
Good morning once again.
Good morning.
My name is Daniel Mutigi Giti. I am Deputy Director in charge of the enablers of the foundations at the Kenya Vision 2030 Delivery Secretariat. Enablers is anything that is infrastructure, ICT, science, technology, innovation, land reforms, public sector reforms, security. There are 90 sectors, and that's why I'm be keen on the AI discussion, because it's part of the ST&I. Nowadays we don't call it STI because it might mean some disease. So we have to say ST&I, so we have to differentiate. So, yeah, so I'm happy again to be here. And Equity Bank, you should not have Equity Bank Chuka probably now from tomorrow.
Yes.
You can have an Equity Bank at Tharaka University because this is already a town.
Yes.
You don't have to struggle. I know from Chuka is fine, but have it at Tharaka. Just have you see, Cooperative Bank was opening the other day at Marimanti. So Equity, you know, is the bank that we all own. So Equity, you can relay this message to the quarters that have a bank around here, and it's a well. So I think not a speech, but really happy to see the progress and happy to be associated with the university. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You remember we said yesterday, Dr. needs to know, already our population is at 8,000, so this is an urban center, so he needs to think about it. Yes. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Levi Musalia. Currently, I'm the acting deputy vice chancellor in charge of administration, finance, planning, and development. I'm a professor of animal nutrition and a veterinarian by profession. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Prof. We clap for Prof. Behind there, including our camera people. We need to know to get together in the room. Give the yes. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Agnes Kawira, media team.
The media team. Thanks so much for the media team. You're doing a good job. So at least we know one another. We have delegates we've gotten from Chuka University, and I'm sure others are coming. Just feel that you're in the right place for the common business that we have here. I'll now take this opportunity to invite the exhibitors and also those who they have really supported us. We have the Equity Bank, like I've said, and the transnational team. And I think we start with Equity Bank. The branch manager is here, and we have been told next year we have Equity Bank, Tharaka branch. Thank you so much. Welcome. We appreciate the manager. Thank you. Welcome.
God is good.
Input and say that Marimanti branch is underway. By January, we should be having one from Equity Bank. We are just finalizing with our Chogoria branch, which we are just waiting for CBK approval, which we believe that before we close this month, that is this week, we are going to have one, so that in the month of November, we are done with the Chogoria branch, so that we can come to Marimanti. I know that Tharaka University is already a center, given the population that is here. But as we say that the bank is an agent of socio-economic transformation, we like placing ourselves at a strategic position where we can also transform the community surrounding this university. So your interests are already taken care of. Mine is just to say that for this research conference, as Equity Bank, we want to thank Tharaka University for coming up with this conference. And when you look at the theme, research, technology, and sustainable resource management for socio-economic transformation, then we can say that this conference resonates well with with what Equity Bank believe in. Because we have several objectives as Equity Bank, and one of them is transforming lives. I don't know how you can achieve socio-economic transformation if the people you support, lives have not been transformed. So that is one of our objectives as Equity Bank, and we take ourselves to the market as champions of socio-economic prosperity of our people. And I believe most of us can resonate with that. And as we do that as Equity Bank, we have several pillars that support us. Equity Bank, we have 3 engines. Equity, we have 3 engines that we operate on, and the first one is the economic engine. The economic engine is where we know that for the ideas that you have, they need to be nurtured so that they can become of importance to the community. That is why we provide the financial support for the people in the industry. I know Tharaka University incubates ideas. Through research, we get so many ideas that can transform the lives and livelihoods of our people, that can transform socio-economic. But some of those ideas, I don't even think in some is all. They require capital. And that is why we as Equity Bank will come to support you financially, to nurture those ideas so that they can be able to transform lives and livelihood of our people. We also have a social engine in the bank. The social engine is where we take various social responsibilities so that we can also empower our people. It is under our social Equity Growth Foundation, which is tasked with the issue of transforming and supporting our community. What do we do in Equity Growth Foundation? In Equity Growth Foundation, we take care of, under our education pillar, we support the needy in the community. We have supported so many needy children in this community with their education, the bright and needy, all the way to the university, and some of them we have sponsored them in reputable universities internationally so that they can come and help us to transform our community. We are also having clean energy, because we must do what we do by protecting the environment. And our social harm, we encourage people to protect our environment. And how do we do that? We have targeted to plant 5 million trees, and we have already done them, and we have gotten an approval for another. So we will continue supporting. I was with the stakeholders of Tharaka University yesterday and Tharaka Technical, and we are coming in a big way to support them with seedling so that we can help them to improve our environment. I know you have heard of the ozone layer, and some researchers were saying if we are not going to take care of the depletion of the ozone layer, very soon planet Earth will be wiped out. And that is why we are here as the bank, because if our customer is wiped out, where will we be? So please, we encourage you, even as individual customers, if you have somewhere you want us to plant trees, we can come in. We are also supporting people with alternative energy solutions, the clean energy. People have really, we plant trees and others are busy cutting them. So we are telling people we can have alternative energies, not necessarily charcoal. We can have clean energy, the solar energy is here. The bank can support the innovators to come with the solutions. We have the biogas, and we were in Tharaka Technical yesterday, and they told us here we don't have cows. I told them you don't have to get the biogas from cows. We have innovators who have come up with ways of getting biogas from human waste. We can convert our problems into our what? Solutions. When you are given a lemon, what do you do with it? And you are not expecting a lemon. You make a lemonade. That is why some people say. So we are also offering those clean energy solutions in the bank. You can finance them yourself if you have money. If you don't have money, that is why we are here. We can give you money so that you can be able to transform yourself. And you can be able to say we also have another engine of sustainability engine. All those things we do, if we are not going to take care, if we last for a short term, they will not be beneficial to us. So we have that engine that we task to evaluate all our strategies to make sure they are sustainable and they can sustain that life transformation in the long run. We are not here to just make a PR entry. People will just clap for us, and then after some times, whatever we are doing is normal. So we will evaluate our strategies, our input to the community to make sure that it is sustainable. And our application of our social engines, we support food and agriculture. We know you cannot do without food in the world. So in all those, we have classified our approach to the market under 6 pillars. One is food and agriculture. If you are involved in that, we can be able to come and support you. We are also supporting manufacturing and logistics. We can also give you expert advice because we have advice. That's why I'm saying when we talk of support, it's not only financial support. We can give you the skills, the experts, and we have already partnered with universities like Tharaka University and other universities so that where expert intervention is required, we just give you the expert. We're in finance. We cannot be able to say we are jack of all trade in the bank, but we have partnered with the people who know, so that when we realize you need a particular kind of advice, we can be able to give it to you. We also support trade and investment generally. People who are in trade and investment, and we also support the micro, small, medium enterprises to nurture their ideas, because we believe when the masses are transformed, is only when we can be able to talk of the true transformation. We cannot talk of transformation if we have only transformed a few individuals. And us as a bank, we want to carry the masses. Equity Bank has been known as the bank of the masses. We came at a time when the masses were being unburdened by the mainstream bankers, and we gave them a livelihood. We give them life back, and we can say in Kenya, we have people who have been banked, who have a bank account. Majority of the Kenyans now are banked. So we need to take them to the same level of transforming their lives through offering sustainable solutions. We also transform them socially because of the obvious reason, and we also like enabling technology. We know at a time where we have lived, we need technology so that we can take our lives to the next level. We have an Equity Academy where we are really nurturing those innovations. As I've said, we have realized that people we have really supported academically, they are actually gifted. Some of them we have called back to the Equity Academy, and they have been tasked to just do nothing but innovate, so that they can come with the solutions that will help the bank to transform the community. Also, we support the investments in the bank. Whatever investment you have, you can come and sit down with our team of experts. You can invest in various areas, you can buy shares, you can invest in real estate, You can also invest in government by treasury bills and treasury bonds. You can go to the market and participate. We have the experts who can take you through so that you can grow your wealth. We know there are people, as a bank we say we are intermediaries. We mobilize resources from a position of higher concentration and take them to a position of lower concentration. That is the core business of the bank, intermediation. If you have excess, you come, you can invest with us, and when you invest with us, it means we give you a good rate of interest for your cash deposits, and then we look for people with ideas, and they need those ideas to be financed, and we finance them, and we charge them a small price, which is called interest, and we eat our margin, and we give the depositor their margin. That is how we make money. So if you have money in the house, please don't do mattress banking. Bring that money to Equity Bank so that we can look for the people who need that money. You make money and we do what? We make money. In Equity, there is something we believe in called shared prosperity. And a shared prosperity, we say in Equity, we win as we win. We make you a winner as you make us a winner. We are also having the insurance products in Equity Bank. Think of insurance, think of Equity Bank. We have life assurance products where you come, you pay some premium, and then upon something happening to you, your family members can benefit. Those are called life assurance products. Whereas we don't protect them from happening, when they happen, we ensure that they do in a very seamless way. You are not disturbed as an individual. So I invite you to come and sample our insurance product. We also insure properties against any damage, fire. We insure your asset, motor vehicles. We insure your agriculture products. We can insure your crops. We can insure your animals so that when they die, you don't have to go to square one. So we have those insurance products. We also facilitate you to move your money. We know in commerce is all about movement of money from one person to another. And you know the current generation, we are always very busy, so Equity Bank has brought a bank on your palm. The person who told me, I want to conclude by saying that on top of saying we come to Marimanti, Equity Bank, we have the capabilities of coming all the way to your home. You don't have to go to a brick and mortar bank for you to get banking services. We have our mobile capabilities where I can put your bank on your mobile phone. You can have the Equity app. You can have the USSD, that is where you use your SIM card to access your banking services. You can deposit money, you can borrow money up to 300 million without any guarantor. So please, as much as I'm coming to Marimanti to serve the people of Tharaka, I'm ready and willing to come all the way to your houses to transform your life, and you'll be accessing banking services at your doorsteps. So thank you very much. Most of the bank questions and answers will be confidential. I don't have to tell you to ask a question unless it is general. We have a small tent outside there where you can come and have a confidential customer to bank talk, isn't it? I'm very grateful, unless if there's a burning one which is of general nature. Otherwise, thank you very much for supporting Equity Bank, and I would say I'm very grateful even to see the emotions that people are just emanating when they are telling me, why are you not in it's very emotional request, and I'm not taking it for granted. This feedback will sleep with my boss today. so that we can, it's an emotional request. I cannot afford to say no. So thank you very much, and may God bless you, and may God bless Equity Bank. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much, the branch manager, Equity. You can see you have the emotional intelligence. You could read what is happening. And delegates, can we appreciate the manager with one big clap? Yeah, you know, yesterday we were told by Erickson, we were given a question. Is it economic crisis or which one? Economic or climate? I don't know if I got it well. Is it economic or climate crisis? Because we are on finances, we are on climate, like that. Thanks so much. I'll take this opportunity to invite the transnational team manager to give us just, I think I'll give like 2 minutes because we have the keynote speaker with us right now, so that we move on. Kindly welcome. We appreciate the manager. One, welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Let me say my name is Eric. I will take the shortest time possible. I am here representing Transnation SACCO. Transnation SACCO has been in Tharaka for the last 12 years. We have been working the journey with the Tharaka people for the last 12 years, and we are here to stay. That is why we are widespread from all the way from Kadwana, Marimanti, Gatunga, and also Mukodima. Let me say this is my fourth such conference that I'm attending here at Tharaka University. The first conference we were right there, and our SACCO was at 7 billion. The second one we were at 10 billion. Last year we were at 11 billion, and as we speak currently, our SACCO, the Transnation SACCO, has grown to a level that we are at 15 billion. This is thanks to the partnership that we have continued to enjoy from Tharaka University. For that, I will give you a lot of gratitude. Continue partnering with us, and we promise to continue being at your service. Thank you very much. On the same, let me say that we have rolled out. I will not speak much about other things because our SACCO is around, and you people come to our branches every now and then. Let me say that for the purpose of the partnership that Tharaka University has been doing with Transnation SACCO, we found it in order that we give you a delegate. In our new governance system, which we are now utilizing the delegate system, that we are no longer going to be using the old Mulolongo system, we are having a delegate system that every cluster will be having a representation. And for the purposes of the membership that Tharaka University enjoys in the Transnation SACCO, we will be having a delegate. That one in itself tells you that we have a huge regard for the continued support that Tharaka University has been continuing to give us. Still on the same, we have also rolled out our premium shares. We started selling our premium shares from September, and the window is opened up to December. It's on a first come, first serve basis. Transnation SACCO currently, as we speak, we have closed the 100,000 membership. That also, we cannot fail to mention that Tharaka University has been key into that growth. We are now above 100,000 in terms of membership. We are having members who are banking from all over the world, and I will invite my brother who comes from Norway to become a member today so that you can start buying premium shares. Premium shares will be earning you interest at a rate of 16%. 16% is quite a good rate when you look at our current market and in terms of the inflation that we have. It's a guaranteed rate. Remember, Transnation SACCO has been consistent in paying its dividends all the way since 1993. We paid our dividends even during the lowest times when we had COVID. In fact, during COVID times, our dividends on share capital was at 16%, and on the ordinary deposits was at 13.1%. This tells you that our SACCO, when it promises a guaranteed return, it is there to fulfill it. So as we speak, because of the fact that we have also honored you with a delegate, we are saying that for you to become a delegate, you have to be with more than 500,000 in terms of shares. This means for you to be representing others in the leadership of the SACCO, you also have to be highly invested in the same SACCO. This gives us a challenge for those who are now staff at Tharaka University. You have an opportunity to present others, and if you have not been keen to be saving in your shares, there's an opportunity so that you can have that opportunity of joining our governance or our leadership team and represent your friends. Again, we also rolled out our advance in dividends. We understand that we are living in a quite tough economic times, and down here in Tharaka, when it comes to hard economic times, this is one of the places where we face it the toughest. And for us to be here for the last 12 years, it means that we have been coming up with products that have been tailor-made to suit the interest of people in Tharaka. For those who are coming in Tharaka, you understand that it's quite a vast area, that the needs that people of Tharaka will come up, you have to come up with their solutions differently. So we have the dividend in advance. There's an advance that we give to our members, those who feel that they are quite in need of cash. You get your dividends in advance from September. It is still available in your phones. We have a mobile platform system that is quite robust. As we speak, we are one of the SACCOs that was rewarded in the just concluded Ushirika Day Awards. We were rewarded in 3 categories. 1, we were awarded as the second best managed SACCO in the country. We were awarded as the second best in utilization of technology, and we only lost to Safaricom SACCO. And considering that Safaricom is our service provider, that means we were the best. And also, when it came to risk management, we were awarded as the best in risk management SACCO in the whole of Kenya. This means that, Andre, we lose no money. Your money is very much secure. So feel free to invest with TransNation SACCO. And for anyone with a burning question, we are going to be there. We have a tent. My colleague has come. Liz, you can wave. Yes. Liz is our manager at Gatunga. And for that continued support that Tharaka University has continued to give us, I pray that the growth of Tharaka University be exponential. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate again with one big clap. One. Yes. You know, I like the way we started. It's all about people. It's all about public-private partnerships. You should be remembering those 2 areas. We started well. These financial institutions are just about the community. They are just about the people like that. So we are doing well. We need them. That's why we are here. I don't know whether, before I get to the business on the schedule, whether we have any new team just to wave our exhibitors. We'll give you time. We will schedule somewhere. I don't know whether we have just to wave any group exhibitors who are out there exhibiting their products and they are here. Which institution is that? Kaidri, just where you are? Farm. Oh, wonderful. We appreciate them. You'll see our schedule. They are there. Any other team, please? Kaidri? Okay, I know they will be coming in. We have the tents outside there, and we really appreciate the teams. We are working together, as we have said. Delegates, we are back to our schedule, and we have our keynote speaker today, we have not missed any step. That is great for all of us. So we have our keynote speaker, who is Dr. Lawrence Deru, the chairman of department, computing, Jomo Kenyatta Immunology, and also the founder of J-Hub Africa, the co-founder of GD, so many things, CONSA. You know, we've been getting there. Oh, wow. So we have a great keynote speaker. This has been a great conference where we are running. Delegates don't run away from the room. Get to listen to this. And because I know we have been working with one of our directors here, who is also in AI, I would like to invite Kevin to weigh. I want us to work together as we invite our keynote speaker. Just give us something, some background, because you've been at CONSA the other day, and we've been working together so that we can understand more as we welcome him to give the keynote address. So Kevin, just give a brief of our keynote speaker, then we'll move on. Welcome.
Thank you so much. You know, when a boss tells you you have to speak even if you had not planned it out. So thank you so much, Prof. All protocols observed. My name is Kevin Tui, and happy to have you, Dr. Lawrence, at Tharaka University. So we met with Dr. Lawrence during an information sharing workshop, I think we had in Naivasha. And I was like, this person has to one day come to Tharaka University and share all his knowledge. So you're going to hear a lot from him. And regarding CONSA is one of the international science parks, and it actually manages all the science parks around Kenya. And just to mention is, during the International Association of Science Parks and Areas of Innovation Conference that happened in Nairobi last month, for the second time in 40 years in Africa, Tharaka University was inaugurated as a new member among Kenya as a new member. So let's clap for ourselves. So we are already there together we inaugurated with ZTech and others, but what I can say is it's because of the mentorship of CONSA Technopolis. That is why we are here. And it is through those connections, and we're going to see, because we are saying we are in the age of AI, and I'm loving to hear, I know I have some friends from Equity, and I know Equity are very, very good in terms of using AI and security, because they believe you are the one of machinani, so you have a lot of customer base. Thank you so much for that, and also thank you for supporting us. So without further ado, I think it will be a great opportunity, and it's an honor to invite Dr. Lawrence Nderu. My friend is from JQuat, and he has done a lot. He's also a founder of J-Hub Africa. I follow him on LinkedIn, and he's just like the person you look up to, because a lot of things in terms of innovation that he does. So once again, welcome Dr. Lawrence. Let's clap for him. Thank you.
So thank you so much. Grateful for that invitation. Let me just a minute. I set up my my presentations.
In setting up the presentation, you need to be excited on how Tharaka we are connecting. And that's why I said the keynote speakers for yesterday opened the door for all of us, delegates from Tharaka and all the other areas. So we are at CONSA now. Let's appreciate all this. Yes, he has traveled all the way from Nairobi so that we can connect, because it's all about people, it's all about PP world. Yes, that's what we are doing. And I said, now that we have the knowledge, we will not mess up. We will not mess, we will go straight to what is expected. Thank you so much. Thank you for all this. Thank you, delegates.
Okay. Yeah, it's possible to share. Which email? Password. Huh? Yeah, let us, I can only send it through the email.
Connect to the same Wi-Fi.
So I'm sending them the documents.
Okay, so you can still cast.
Yeah, you need to know.
I mean kwa Wi-Fi. I hope hakuna mahali utahitaji kutumia Wi-Fi. Hii ni Mac. Command K, sijui kwa itafanya command. Nini? Okay, like project cast unafua.
This is settings, display. But nafikiria simemtumia tu basi kama ilikuwa inaenda.
Lakini Windows K yako ni
Windows. Anything one.
Okay, sawa.
Ina touch. So I think we have, it's going to be projected, and I want to thank the Tharaka University for inviting me to this session. I have looked at the program, and I'm convinced that we are taking the steps of development that we need to at our local level, which is very important. This is my first time to be at Tharaka University, and I used Google to arrive here, somehow it misread me to go into a river somewhere. I think there's a there's a section of a road where I found myself in a bit of a place that I was wondering whether I'm the only one on the road, and because the only thing I could see were some lorries and some pro-books. And when you see yourself in Kenya in the middle of lorries and pro-books, then you know most likely you're not in the right place there. So, but happy to be here, and thank you so much, the organizers, for the conference. Thank you so much for the invite. I'm here to talk about AI, specifically looking at AI from all angles. And I would want to say that I'm really excited that universities or institutions in Kenya are talking about the right things. The right thing is what you mentioned, things like climate change. We have seen its impact, right? The fact that we need to empower people. I've heard that mentioned by various banks or circles which have been there, and I'm very happy that these are the conversations that we are having. The other conversation that I'm going to add now is the AI aspect. And I have done my PhD in AI and fuzzy logic from University of Paris 8. That was in 2015. And if I look at what has happened since that time to where we are now, it excites me to say that this is technology that is coming closer to us now in terms of what we can do. Remember, in 2015, we were looking at things like Hadoop. Hadoop is a way of processing data. Well, I'm also a founder of JHub, which is JHub Africa, is a digital innovation hub. And I have, just to make it clear as we hold this conversation, is that I'm convinced that we need to think deeply about opportunities that we create for our students and our people. I think that is something that, as an institution dealing with graduates, we are adding graduates to the pool of graduates who are graduating. We need to think deeper alongside opportunities that we create for them. In terms of how can we create people who will be owners and creators of businesses, and therefore the solutions, for example, that are coming from AI, we are not just going to be consumers. We are also going to be people contributing towards the creation of those solutions. And companies that are coming from some of these technologies. That's why we have the JHub Africa. I'm also a co-founder of a Green Digital Innovation Hub that is found at Konza City. And I've heard that Tharaka is also part of the people working within that space. So very excited that hubs can be a way in which we can be able to congregate or even aggregate solutions and come up with ideas. Now, so my first argument is that AI is of course the first time it worked. I hope the second time it works. First slide. Sometimes technology even where it does not work. Nice. So the first thing that I want to say is that AI is revolutionizing and is redefining society today. I want you to look at the Nobel Peace Prizes that were given, Nobel Prizes that were given for chemistry and physics this year. The people who won them, they are from chemistry and from physics. They all had one thing, among the other things that they might have common. One of them is that they all were working with AI in some space. The AI contributed to their work. So, and that was big because if you look at what it is doing, it's a major aspect. So it's redefining what we do in our society. Another very important thing is that if you think about even the way we work, AI is actually shaping that. So it is shaping how we run, how we work, and how we interact globally in broad applications. I would say this. If today the students that we are teaching come out of the education system and they don't have skills such as skills in AI, for sure, because their workplace will be different from what we have today. Already we know today businesses and organizations are using AI. They will be disadvantaged if they don't have the skills that they need in AI. So what I'm trying to say here, my argument is that the skills that our students do need today, or our workers, even today as a worker, I believe that if you are to hire somebody to assist you in your office today, you would consider things like their capability to work with some tools. Say, for example, even drafting documents, even becoming productive in terms of even drafting minutes. We know how AI is being used in those areas. But those are, for me, those are at the lower level of our scale. We need to think further. So even as educators, we need to think about the impact of AI on education. I think you will agree with me that if today you are to examine your students with questions that are on the lower level of the Bloom's taxonomy, asking them questions that they are just supposed to recall, they just go to ChatGPT and they type, and the answers they may give you will be answers that are even more than you expect. So, and the truth of the matter is this: we have to agree that in our ecosystem, there are even some of us as instructors or educators who do not know that this is what the students can do. So we eventually are still examining in ways that does not examine the high level of Bloom's taxonomy, and that becomes a problem. And also adding context. I agree. To me, I would say this: AI I'm an advocate of AI, and I really believe that we can use it for change. But we also need to be aware, not to be left behind, so that when you are a lecturer teaching and you're very happy that I will give you a story. Sometimes back, I met a colleague of mine who was marking some papers, and I looked at the question that he had asked, just an interaction informally, and I asked him, these questions, have you checked that the students have not used some AI? Are you aware that they have not used some AI tools? And he said, for my work, they cannot really use it. And it's a colleague who is a friend, so I picked the first paper. The first paper, yes, the student was getting a 0.5. Remember, this is an assignment given, so a 0.5 out of 20. And I said, if a student can even get a 0.5 out of 20 today, when you have tools like ChatGPT, it's a bit of a worry, because what I'm saying is that the questions that were being asked there are not questions that I felt. So first of all, I asked myself, what is happening with this student? Then I picked the second one. And I realized the lecturer had given the highest mark. Then I looked at the answers and I pointed to the lecturer that, as you can see, these are questions that have been generated from ChatGPT directly. I mean to say, to him, this was something that he never had planned for. He had not factored it in his work marking. And I felt that from there, universities or educators, we need to start thinking about these issues around how we are able to even examine, to even teach. This is the issue. We need to improve as people who are teaching. We need to improve as people who are examining. We need to look at how AI influences even the way people are running. So this presentation that I'm going to present here will explore the challenges, opportunities, and the real-world examples of AI in how it is transforming education industries and why we need to think about it. My thesis, or my aim for this engagement, is that at the end of it all, I know, and I have seen even in the abstract, students, or even there are some papers that are going to be presented that use deep learning and this kind of stuff, which is very commendable, but I also want us now to bring it closer to our context. That is very important. So there is a saying that has been used, which I think I really like adopting it, because it says, think of AI like the invention of electricity, an innovation that revolutionizes every sector of society. Higher education and workplace are next in line. This is what I started by saying. Electricity, you can see what it has done within over years, and AI is leverage at that level. That is what leverage would be at that level in terms of impact. So I don't know why, maybe the controlling is happening even at that. So I want to talk about that on higher education. Sorry, I think, the higher education. Yes, so if you look at one of the benefits that I see coming in education is personalized learning. That is where I would say we are not yet there yet, but that is coming. And therefore, the role of an educator or a lecturer, you will have to think about it. Today, you know very well that when you are teaching and the students, they can ask you questions and then they are able to look to look for the specific answers to that. So they just are sometimes confirming whether you know what you are telling them at that stage, whether you know what you are saying and this kind of stuff, because they can get some of the answers. But your role, of course, goes ahead to try and guide the conversation. So individualized kind of learning environment, that one I see is going to be things like, for example, identifying what are the students' strengths, right? And what are the weaknesses in real time. And therefore, it can provide targeted interventions. So instead of, for example, having everybody being taught in a uniform way, that we assume all of us are the same in a class, there is a level of personalization that AI is supporting. Some tools are doing that. We are not yet there. This is what I'm trying to say. But the potential is massive, especially if you think about what does it need to take you 4 years to take a degree? These are questions that people are asking, and become a computer scientist, for example. Because if you look at software development, maybe that's also something else that we all know. Development of software tools is nowadays done in tools like Copilot have really improved this kind of development. When I'm teaching my courses in programming, I find myself to a good extent, even when I'm just supposed to write a good prompt, and the code is purely generated, that is world-class in terms of what it is. And if you look at Copilot, in the recent study that was done at Stack Overflow, they said that most even prolific developers who are in the industry, they argued that they have found about 50% benefits in using these tools that are based on based on generative AI. So this is something that we need to think. Adoptive platforms that are just running path based on student progress, and then they ensure that you master the content. The other one is AI tutoring systems, providing personalized guidance similar to one-on-one sessions with human educators. We know that for some skills, and even in resource-constrained areas, the educators may be something that we need to look at. So personalized level is very important. So there's a Georgia State University which stated that they used AI to predict and assist struggling students, resulting in 22% increase in graduation rates. We all know the problem of chunk in universities, where students start. How do you assist them before they fall? How do you make sure that you maintain this kind of movement? The other one is automation and efficiency in universities. Think about how long does it take, for example, if a student comes to the chairman's office, as an example, to request for a letter, to request for maybe even a recommendation. How long does that take? If you think about it, usually you will have, most of the time, you take time sitting down, you think you need time to write, you take like 15 minutes or 10 minutes to draft that example. Sometimes you have templates, and those templates are in a way very generic. They don't help that student to, for example, get their case put. So what we do as departments, we have a certain form or a certain template that we just fill in the name, so and so has finished the course, and this is the degree they have received. How beneficial is that to an industry if that student you want to put them ahead? Think of that and compare a case where we have data about this student and we are able to highlight the issues that this student is capable of doing. Right? So that when we now write a recommendation to the students that has finished, so and so has finished a degree in computer science, the student was a class leader, maybe something like that, he was a very good programmer, read this kind of a project, it makes a lot of sense for that kind of a student. And this is why I'm saying that we are able to help in terms of automation and efficiency in that. Manage class schedules, allowing educators to focus on teaching. Even universities' use of chatbots, conversational chatbots, to try and engage, make sure that universities can be able to engage with the communities. Counseling, we have seen some of these things being used to help students, even in understanding their issues like counseling and all that. And this is something that is very important. The other one is AI-driven data analysis that can help institutions identify trends in students' performance and operational improvements. This is very important on that. Also, curriculums. we are, if you think about it, universities have been blamed for having curriculums that are dinosaurs, in the sense that they take so long to evolve. I'm in a technology space, and I know that when you think about the way it evolves, within 2 years is a lot of time before a curriculum for tech space or tech curriculums. And I know for other courses, this is something that is really, we know. So how can we improve so that even as we do, because the Commission for University Education allows us to do a certain percentage of changes, how do we equip lecturers to be more efficient in terms of delivering curriculums that are up to date? And AI can help in that. So University of Barcelona in Spain used AI-powered chatbots to address over 38,000 student queries annually, saving students time and improving student satisfaction. This is an example of where you have it being used in operations in a university. So this is the thing, not only are we talking about equipping the instructor or the lecturers, we're also talking about the people who are in offices. They need to be able to know how to work with this kind of argument. The other thing is, what are the skills for the AI era in higher education? Equipping students for an AI-powered workforce is what I would actually say. This is the thing. Every student, whether you're doing nursing, whether you're doing sociology or whichever course, we should have a course on AI that is trying to make sure that these people are able to understand these technologies. The reason is that even in those areas, you can see how the impact is coming. We had a conversation sometimes back with Alan Turing Institute in UK around how they have used AI now, for example, to advise the government in terms of the way they will use their budgeting. They will do the budgeting. You know how governments do budgeting in terms of what are the priority areas, because resources are constrained and all those kind of things. And they have built a model that they are able to use to be able to advise or even recommend areas where the budgeting can focus on. This is big for me if I look at the way we can benefit from this kind of argument. So curriculums shifts are necessary to teach AI-related competence, coding, data literacy, and algorithm ethics. Of course, coming from Africa, I'll mention something about ethics because you know very well that we have generated very little data, and therefore we have very little information online that we are generating. So the narrative is told through algorithms and through data. And because we have very little of our data and our algorithms that we have contributed, then eventually you have issues around biases that needs to be looked at. And we know this is a major thing. So ethical AI development, students must learn to develop AI systems that are unbiased and socially responsible. We should start looking at this as very important. Now, one university that has adopted this is Stanford University, now offers an interdisciplinary major on AI and society. This is blending the technical AI training with social sciences to address ethical challenges. And this is something that I think we all should be able to adopt in this case. This is where a person using AI in nursing may use it in a different way and be able to get a lot of things in that. The other thing is the changing nature of work in the AI age. So automation of administrative work, there has been a discussion around the jobs that will be lost. Yes, it's well known now that some jobs will be lost, but the truth is that there are many other opportunities that will be created by AI that to a good extent, when you looked at the report that was released by LinkedIn last month, showed that most companies that are hiring developers, I'm more focused maybe because of that bias in terms of developers, most of the people who are hiring developers, they are looking at people who also have an AI addition to their CV and all that. So it means that this is very important for us to look at how we can be able to do that. Because we know for some administrative tasks, AI can help. Data entry jobs, routine tasks, I know of a lady who works with media in Kenya who presented a very interesting case. She said that initially she used to do how many stories? 1 story per week, and they are paid based on the stories. Today, with the support of the AI tools that exist, she is able to generate stories at a very high rate, to the extent that even the other thing that she mentioned, which the UNIDO, where initially they used to look at digital transformation by country. There is a report that they released that they usually release yearly that looks at country digital transformation, adoption, and this. This time round, if you look at the report that they released, a bit of it and a good percentage of it is done using the AI tools. Of course, that means some contracts will have to be lost in that case. So this is something that we need to think. But of course, there will be people building models now to be able to support them in doing this work. So new job creation and augmentation, driving job creation and human AI collaboration. AI will create roles like AI development, machine learning operations, and AI ethics. So AI will augment human tasks, that improving productivity. Workers and machine will collaborate in roles such as augmented customer service. So emphasis on human skills like leadership. Human being will have to be left doing what human beings need to do. Things like leadership, empathy, things like creativity will rise as AI takes over routine tasks that are done. The World Economic Forum predicts that AI will create 133 million new jobs globally by 2025, far exceeding jobs that it has displayed. Hence, the reason as to why we are saying that we need to look at that as an important thing. So, a bit of looking at how the genesis, a decade of breakthrough in AI has come up. AI is one funny thing because as it started, there was a lot of excitement. Remember, we were coming then from the Industrial Revolution where you had a lot of companies producing massively, and then there was a feeling that human beings are easy. Is there a way in which human beings have their own shortcomings? In terms of, for example, they get bored, they get lazy. These kind of things all are things that we need to consider as weaknesses. Why people would want machines to take up is a real fact on some of these things. So in that time then, there were RAI systems that were rule-based systems. The work that was done by Alan Turing work, rule-based system and symbolic AI developed. Then we had expert systems. Then we had statistical running and data-driven models. And then we had the rise of, I think I missed something. Yeah, this is supposed to be on, sorry. Are we moving together? Okay, yeah, that's a point. So I was saying that in 2000, you have the rise of machine learning. This is where we have the traditional methods that are used, the random forest, the use of decision trees and all that, growth of machine learning techniques, expansions of AI applications in various industries came in. Then 2010, we have seen the deep learning boom, breakthrough in deep learning with the neural networks. We have seen development of convolutional neural network, now considered to be traditional in the sense, recurrent neural network for advanced test job. And then we had the Alexia and the image net revolution. So this is a competition. Yeah, this is a competition that was launched in 2020, aimed to accelerate progress in object recognition. Performed very well. In 2012, RxNet, a deep convolutional net, achieved a breakthrough rate of about error rate of about 15.3% on the ImageNet dataset. And this showed that it is possible for us to continue improving because it did outperform the previous approaches. This victory marked a turning point for deep learning, demonstrating its potential for complex tasks. Now, so the convolutional neural network, which is the foundation for applications, is we have these are purpose process like data, that is images, you are dealing with images. Layers are done in convolutional, it extracts features. The difference that came from this deep learning was because now we do not need humans to input the features. The model could be able to extract the features given them the case study. So a key application of convolutional neural network was image classification, object detection, image segmentation, video analysis, which you have seen now that you can even have that in cities where CCTVs and are placed in several strategic points. You are able to analyze and see where incidences are happening, and then you can be able to deploy personnel depending on the need. Recurrent neural network, these ones are related to more of processing of sequential data. time series, sentiment analysis. That's why if you go to social media tools like Twitter, X now, you can be able to, you extract those comments, you can be able to detect the sentiments of the people who are writing there over a product. So if a company, for example, like Safaricom, has produced a product or is being discussed, you can be able to look at what the sentiments are. Is it the negative sentiment? Is it the positive sentiment? We have had a key application in natural language processing, time series, and also speech recognition. Now this is the other part, that is the generative AI, creating new content with GANs. And generative models have been a big one. The purpose is to generate new data, similar to the training data. Key application is things like image generation. So it has, you want an image that you can use maybe in your storyline. You can be able to use the many image generating tools that exist. Data augmentation, style transfer. Generative adversarial networks, which we call the GANs. They generate, create new data, and distinguishes real data from generated data. The training process, forcing the generator to produce increasingly realistic output because it uses the adversarial kind of training. Key application, we have things like style transfer, which is a big one, in the sense that you can be able to write like a certain person, be able to play music like a certain person. This is where that comes. The other area that this becomes important is the issue of, I don't know whether we are moving together. So the cutting edge generative AI, the recent breakthroughs that we have seen, image to text, translation. So you have description from images, you give it an image, and then it is able to generate for you some images. We have seen what unique image generation from text, like a cat playing chess. You have seen that from Dare, you can do that. Video generation, and you have seen realistic videos that like people dancing, this kind of thing from Deface and such. Music composition, like what Jukebox does, MooseNet. Music in various styles, the Beatles, that you can be able to bring them to life using tools like Jukebox. Drug discovery, and I think maybe this for me is something that as Africans brings that we need to think about. How can we create wealth from some of this technology? How can we exploit them to benefit our people? This is a big question because this is already a multi-billion-dollar industry, drug discovery. And the truth is that AI is making this area leapfrog in terms of being able to do more with the resources that they have. So we really need to think about, these are some of the areas that have a lot of resources. Antibiotics, we have had a data set actually on antibiotic resistance from Africa. We know there are shortcomings. There is a call that Rakuna has placed on individuals trying to build data set for use in such areas. Very interesting that we see our people creating data sets that we can also be able to use that have our context in that case. So art and creativity, creating creative text like poem, code, and this kind of thing, and we have seen what ChatGPT has done in that case. Now, so there are ethical consideration that we need to look at, ethical consideration in AI utilization, and this is where I think we, as I mentioned, even as we embrace AI in whichever form it is, we also need to think about the ethical issues that are there, that we must be able to have AI that serves humanity fairly. And we don't have to repeat some of the mistakes that we have seen. AI is bringing some ability to democratize. I have seen cases where you are asked, for example, to write a paragraph about yourself. Just to give you an example, there's a tool that you can use to be able to custom your CV. And there exist a number of them. I know most of you have seen them, just maybe to mention, and these kind of tools. So what has happened is that it has democratized the ability that I can write my CV in a way that I look like a native speaker of the language. That's possible because the opportunity requires that. It was a big barrier to that. It was a big barrier to that that has really been improved on that. But we also need to think about what are some of the things that, some of the opportunities that are missed out, or some of the biases that are being reinforced, because the data we are giving it is data that is based on our bias, the past biases that we have seen. So addressing algorithmic bias is crucial for ensuring fairness. That is, biases in AI system can amplify social inequalities. Think of a bank and think of how we have been banking traditionally. So if you use data from the past, you may find that most of the households, the people who are banked were maybe the male, right? And the fathers were the ones who were banked previously. Now, if you use that data to decide how to give loans or how to give opportunity, because credit facility is a big one for our development. So if you use that data without considering that data is already biased, because it's not like women are not good people to give loans. It is only that the data that you're using is already biased, which of course influences this kind of output that we have. Some of these things have been seen in what has happened maybe in the models built within the Western world. Why would we want to replicate those bad things about them? So my argument here is that there are weaknesses that we need to be aware of, biases that we need to be aware of, and we need to be able to take that. The other thing is data privacy is a central concern, and really even today in Kenya, you know why that is a big one. Safeguarding sensitive information in AI-driven processes is paramount, so that we still have issues of data privacy, data protection. Kenya has the Data Protection Act, but as you know, we will need all of us to really be aware of that, even as we develop this solution. There is need for comprehensive ethical guidelines, and we have seen even the AU has come up with a guidelines on AI strategy. We have seen what has happened within Kenya because we are developing an AI strategy on this. So some guidelines are important. Registration to govern AI deployment responsible. So, and an example of what Amazon did in terms of recruitment. So they found bias against women, underscoring the need for ethical AI. Even for payment, you know the way gender payment or gender pay gap is something that we all know is a major concept. So what do we need to do then for us to be able to prepare for the AI future? Yeah, what do we need to do for us to prepare for an AI future? My argument is that given data today and the capability that exists within the AI tools, you don't have to take a whole week analyzing that data. There are patterns that initially you can get from that data on the go. But then again, you will need the human part to go deeper into some of the sections. I agree that it gives you a big startup. It gives you a head start because you can be able to see some of the patterns. So, ability to run, even for people who are already well established within their professional, is very important. Those certificates are available. Those courses are available, even not for certificates. There are also those ones that are open source that you can be able to attend to and learn how to make use of AI as a tool. We need to understand how to work with AI and generally how it works. No longer optional. It's continuous skill acquisition with critical as ability to be able to understand how it transforms areas. So collaboration between academia, I've heard that being mentioned, and industry will be crucial in preparing the next generation of AI-driven workforce. Remember, this is, if you look at the capability that we have as an institution, even as a university, we need the industry to be able to help us be able to leapfrog in terms of exposing our students to some of these tools. We may not even be able to create some of them. Some of these models are resource intense. They are highly require a lot of maybe time to be able to achieve to that. So what I'm saying is that we need collaboration as a very important. Embracing AI benefits while focusing on human-centric value will ensure that we have a prosperous and equitable future. So the idea is we need to focus on human aspect so that we don't lose that. Even as we build this solution or these systems, the human part is central to it. And Just to give you a point that we have the courses that exist within MIT that have open AI. We also have some that are being released here. At TIGI, we are doing some of them with them so that we can release some courses that we can use in AI and that, so that you stay up, everybody stays updated in the latest advancement in this area. Now, when it comes now to my conclusion is this. AI offers enormous potential. Enormous potential. And as we sit in our cocoons, maybe as lecturers or as instructors, we need to think that it's coming in this area. It's coming. Personalized learning, there will be questions that we can be asked like, does it need to take a 4-year course? Well, you could be able to do it within a very short period of time. Does it, what are we really offering? Skill set? What are the skill set benefits? We need to ask ourselves those kind of questions. And do they even need to be in an environment that is, I know we'll argue about social skills and this kind of thing that we need to offer them. But remember, it's all about even thinking about opportunities for these people. So for the people that we are our customers, so to speak. So we need to depend on how well we adopt education and workplace systems. We look at, for example, I was looking at the gaming industry. Gaming industry, I know most of us maybe, when you remember the way the gaming attitude was, that when you see a person playing games, you tell them you are wasting time. Yet, you look at what has happened to the Chinese company that has brought billion, the one that has been just listed recently as the most profitable gaming company in the recent past. It's a company made up of 40 people. They have created a game that tells the story of Chinese. And you can imagine our stories have not been told, so we can use games to be able to do that telling of our stories, and they are able to make a lot of money from this kind of thing. So what I'm trying to say is that areas that look like they were no longer touchable, we need to go there. And here is one disadvantage that I think we need to know as Africans. Most of the time, we get to these areas a bit late. We no longer need to do that, a bit late. So we get to these areas so that we no longer get the benefits that we need to. Look at what happened to OpenAI. Our people are the ones, some of them who are being used to annotate the data. And they were paid $2 for the annotations that they were making. I think you know that story. Then, today, OpenAI is a unicorn of its own kind, making a lot of billion, but it is not based here. This is what I'm trying to say. OpenAI, our people are used in annotating of that data. You know that it was done here, and there are questions about the payment that was done to them. But look at what that company is doing. Suppose it was a Kenyan product making that, because it's a multi-billion company. Or African, so to speak. But I'm not just saying that, I'm saying there are companies that need to come out of this continent in a way that shows that we are also having talent is evenly distributed. What we don't have is opportunities. And I think we need to think about this as a very important thing. So the right investment in people, courses that we offer, the training that we do, the opportunities that we give, very important to that even as a lecturer, as a student. What opportunities do you take to be able to be to show these people the path where they need to go? Very, very important. Then infrastructure, we need to invest in that. Ethics will allow us to unlock AI potential for societal good. Together we can shape AI as a tool to enhance human potential rather than replace it, and this is important. And remember, if we are not informed, even those tools as they come and they take advantage of or exploit our opportunities, we'll still not be able to know that has happened. So my closing thought is as follows. Just as the steam engine powered the Industrial Revolution, AI is powering the fourth Industrial Revolution. It's up to us to steer it in the direction of equity, progress, and inclusion in a way that all of us do benefit, and we create a humanity that is encompassing. Thank you so much. Thank you for that.
Wow. Thank you so much. We again appreciate our keynote speaker with a very big clap. We were really anxious about this. We were all waiting to hear about the AI, and it's here with us now. And I like, it's all about people. Can you see that? It's all about people. How do we shape this AI? It's with us. And it has to give it the direction. I don't want to repeat, but you've gotten it. You see the closing ones there? It's all about people. So it's you, it's me, and all of us to get to know the direction we move. And it's the power we have in the contemporary society. Now, I'll request our DVC, because this is also part of administration, so that you can become part of us. Just say something on what we've learned as we settle for the other activities of the day. Prof, welcome. I know you're in agriculture. I don't know where AI is taking you in animals. In your world of animals, are you going to instill the human being with the animal and the AI? Welcome.
Thank you, DVC. Just as she has said, surely, sometimes I've been wondering, how do I come in this animal which is called AI? But sincerely, from what I have learned today, and also what I've been reading, I think if we, people in the specialized areas, if we don't move away from that traditional way of thinking, I think we'll soon become irrelevant. What I'm seeing currently in the world is that AI is dominating, and I agree with our speaker that we must make sure that in all the professional courses that we have, we must be able to put there an element of AI. This is the direction the world is moving. The youngsters, I think if we have to bring them in our profession, this is the direction that we have to move. We have always been crying like in agriculture. Where are the students? The students, when you talk to them about agriculture, then that is the time you part ways. They move in a different direction and you move in the different direction. So AI, I think, can serve as a stimulus to encourage the students so that, I think what the students are not seeing is that they are not having something which is relevant to them in terms of the way the world is moving. So otherwise, our guest speaker, thank you very much for that. And I hope that we are going to continue having this relationship. I'm happy Kevin is here. So make sure that you tap all these talents and to Tharaka University. Otherwise, thank you very much. And for today, I wish each and everybody a nice participation in today's events. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prof. Delegates, we are just settling now for the next item in our schedule. That is the panel discussion. So you will allow us to organize just aloud here. Director, you can guide us.
Sure. So Kevin, come over here. I think you can have 5 minutes health break, as we set up here. So I need to have Nani. Health break. If the mics are good, they can. Utapatia mtu mmoja wa eh?
So, good morning, everyone. Now, we take this opportunity to welcome you for this part of the discussion, which is the panel discussion. And we are guided by there are some questions that we are going to be using to guide us through this. So, as we set up that, I will first ask the panelists to give a brief introduction about themselves so that now we can kick off the main thing. We can start the main thing. So we can start with the Prof from this side. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm excited. I'm Professor Veronica Nyanga, excited to contribute and stir up this power of AI. Thank you.
So please, next, we can just proceed like that.
Yeah, I have to stand as Prof because of I'm always near the center of gravity. Again, my name is Daniel Mutegi Giti. I'm a Deputy Director Enablers at the Kenya Vision 2030 Delivery Secretariat. And very interesting discussion with Dr. here, because under the enablers we have the issue of science, technology and innovation, ST&I, and the government of Kenya under the Vision 2030 Development Blueprint 2008-2030 is very committed to enhancing, leveraging on science, technology and innovation for socio-economic development. So the discussion is very pertinent to Vision 2030, and I think I will invite Daktari to the Vision 2030 Delivery Secretariat now, once we go back to Nairobi, so that we can see what are the challenges and what the government need to do to unlock the various challenges. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. I think for me, I would say that I'm very happy to be engaged in these conversations and really happy to see how we can come out with something from these discussions. So, Lawrence Nderu from Jomo Kenyatta University. Thank you.
Yes, Øyvind Eriksenvik, Norway again. I can just start with, I didn't use AI to make my presentation, but yesterday, but I used the first generation of AI, Google search. So very interested in how we can deal with this in my school. We are very aware of it. It's starting, and first we are thinking, oh, we don't have to be tricked by all these students doing good reports, but I have a lot of thoughts of how we can bypass it, maybe. But it happens fast, so we'll see.
Okay, thank you so much for the brief introductions from our panelists. At this moment, we are going to briefly give a recap of what is AI, and after that, we shall move to the questions that are going to guide the discussions. So I will invite Kevin to tell us something about AI, which is similar to what our keynote speaker has spoken about. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kwenga, my co-moderator. So we're just going to set pace so that we have our panelists talk about something that you can relate with, right? We're saying that I was reading a certain book, it's called Scary Smart by Mo Goddard, and they're saying there are 3 inevitables about AI. First of all is AI will happen. It is inevitable, it has already happened. And then AI will become better than humans. That is also say, and then they say is like, scary things will happen. So we don't know what will happen. And he said something about this. He said that one day, one time, in the future, we'll be in the forest somewhere enjoying, either because AI has already taken over everything that we used to do, even being in a panel. Maybe there'll be other panelists who are bots and not us, and we'll be enjoying. Or we're going to be in the forest hiding because they have become terminators and they want to kill us. Anyways, that's a thought about it. So AI, in simple, artificial intelligence, we're talking about the simulation of human intelligence. We're just saying that we want computers to be able to perform at the same level as human beings. And this is something that I know our panel is going to mention about artificial general intelligence and whether we are getting there or not. So I'll take it back to Dr. Kwenga to talk about some of the positive and negative, then we can get to our panelists.
Okay, thank you so much. So we have, from even what our keynote speakers talked about, we have basically the positive aspects of AI, and also we have the negative aspects of AI. But if you look, if you are open-minded, you realize that the positive aspects are way more than the negative aspects. What we need to do is to come up with ways of doing away with the negative effects so that we can adopt it and live with it so that we can improve even our own performances. So you can maybe move to the slide number 4. Now, on this slide, we are showing the first, we have 2 cases, a positive case and a negative case. So for the positive case, we are looking at AI-powered glasses that visually impaired persons can use. So somebody was born without the ability to see, but with these AI-powered glasses, you are able to see just like you guys, just like you can see things around you. Now, what needs to be taken care of is, for example, well, the glasses are able to show you, you are able to see what is around you, but what needs to be taken care of in the design is these glasses should be able to reveal to you the real objects. So if I'm in front of a computer wearing the glasses, I should be able to see that this is a computer and it's not a stone. So that is why here we are highlighting that AI glasses should reveal the things as they are. If it's a cup, let it reveal that as a cup. Now for the negative case, which is the second slide, is a case in China where a scammer is used the AI technology to scam a business person, a rich business person, by using the AI generated videos to pose as a friend to this business person. So he calls, assume that I'm the scammer, he is the business person. So I use the AI video to pose as a friend. He is a friend to the business person. So in the video, what the business guy is seeing is a picture of Dr. Mudhengi, who is his friend. But actually that is not Dr. Mudhengi, but it is me, the scammer, using AI to get his videos. So we speak, me, the scammer, and the business guy. We can see it is Mudengi, but actually it is me. The sound, the way I speak, he can tell that is Mudengi, and the business guy ended up transferring some huge amounts to the scammer. Only later on for the business guy to realize that this was a scam, and then it became a police case, and the investigations were done, and the guy was apprehended. So the point is, what has happened? Sorry. So, if you could project. So the point is, proper measures needs to be put in place to avoid cases of using AI to scam people in like in the case that has been discussed there. Now, as the keynote speakers talked about, AI has impacts across various industries. So for this discussion, we are going to basically look at education. How is AI impacting education? So we have industries like education, manufacturing, Medicare, transport and communication, agriculture. Across board, there is effects of AI, positive and negative. So at this point, we are going to pose questions to our panelists. Then they can help us understand what are their takes on these questions. So firstly, I will move to the first question, which is, now we are thinking about integrating AI in education for the teacher, me as the teacher, to be able to teach well, effectively, for the learner to be able to follow the concepts, to understand the concepts, and for the researcher to be able to give, to do a research, to give some high impact output of the research for the same. So we are asking, what are the main challenges the researchers and the educationists may face when trying to integrate AI tools? So they face some challenges, so we are concerned. What are these challenges? And then, how can these challenges be mitigated so that at least they can be integrated overall to make education effective from the teacher to the learner, then the learner to the industry, for example. I will open that for the panelists. I may not specifically say this to answer, so somebody can just give you a view on that. After that, someone else can also give a point on the same. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, and a very good question. Actually, the reason as to why I jumped into it is because it's a very good question, because it provides for arguments around practical tools that educators can take on this kind of thing. Number one, and this is something that we've even been talking about in my university. Universities need an AI policy. Universities need an AI policy that is so progressive that it looks at how do you use AI for research to be able to help researchers become productive. Identify tools for people so that they can start thinking about, these are some of the tools that we can invest in to be able to be better researchers and compete globally. Because the truth is that if you use a djembe today and a person is using a tractor, there's no way you will be at the same level. AI is a tractor or more than it. It maps your work. So AI policy is one thing that I would say universities need to have one that even talks about the examination, all aspects around how AI is going to help. That's number one. Number two is that for educators, this is crucial that we equip ourselves with skills. It's good that we make sure that we reskill ourselves. We reskill ourselves in the sense that if you look at, for example, tools that I can, when I'm teaching these days some of the concepts, like say game theory as a concept. Initially it was very difficult to try and use some of these tools. People, they will get bored because at some point it becomes highly mathematical. Today, I can just create a video within 5 minutes, a video that is perfect, a video that is very good, that I can use to be able to teach a concept in something like game theory. Therefore, we ourselves as educators, we need to be reskilled on how we can use them. This is a positive aspect. So when you go to class, even allow your students to be able to use these tools, to be able to do some of the work, so that then there is an examination component of what you're looking at. So for example, if I were to tell them that, let us say I'm teaching an algorithm on hill climbing as an example. Why not give scenarios that they can use the data that exists within us, use AI tools to be able to even do more than what they would have done if they just used the Google search and this kind of thing. So equipping the educator is number one, let also, as educators, when we go to class, allow these students to bring their knowledge in class. Let us not assume that we are alpha and omega of knowledge anymore. The argument is, students, you may give students some work, and they come up with tools that they use to do a job. Here is the thing. You can use tools to check that plagiarism is safeguarded. There are tools that exist, Turnitin and such, and even Google has come up with a better tool where you can be able to record the students writing as they proceed. I mean, if it's some work that I've given students write down, if they use AI, I can tell from the fact that this work was not typed from the keyboard as they were doing it. It's a plugin that you can add on your Google Doc. So it does very well in terms of trying to say that this work was copied from somewhere and pasted, and this kind of thing. But I'm saying, initially, let them know what is the top notch of what needs to be done, so that they know this is what needs to be done, and then they can do them within their context and improve. And this helps us a lot as lecturers. So I would say educator, make sure that we educate the educators so that they are aware of what capability that exists for some of these tools. Thank you.
Yes, I would start with how to set down the goals of learning, the learning outcome, and how you can use this, how to measure the outcome of the learning. It's important, because if you set the goals in the right way, that is really possible to get what the student have learned, then you can use everything in between, whatever tool you need. So because the students, they want to have good grades. That's first and foremost. It should be learning, but it's often good grades to get on. So for me, that is at least how we will evaluate the outcome. And I think when they are using all these tools, we should learn them critical thinking, because what is really the facts, or no facts, or fake news, or whatever, it's so much to deal with. And I liked very much about the teacher being the one leading the discussion. Even if I don't know everything, I can ask stupid or good questions, and see if they can relate to that. And another thing I'm very occupied with in our school, we can see that the reports is getting better and better. And we know these guys or girls cannot write that, because before they were not that good. But then we would like to add oral testing in addition to the report. Because then they have to reflect, have they really read what they are printing, or do they just print and get good grades? So we have to turn everything, use everything in a new matter, and see if the teacher could be more of a mentor, or get closer to the persons in one way. And one other thing that I'm also very curious about, it's gaming. Gaming as teaching. We try to do that in a simple game that in construction management and lean construction, so they can evaluate the results after being active in a game. So it's a lot of possibilities going on.
Okay, thank you so much for that. We can move to the next question in the interest of time, so that for the subsequent questions, the panelists, the remaining panelists can give their inputs to the same. Thank you so much. We move to the next question.
So the next question really, and it's an amazing question as we move to the next slide. Tech team, please. So, okay, so we are here. So the question is, how will the role of researchers and educators evolve with the increasing adoption of AI? I know Dr. Lawrence has already mentioned about now you no longer need to be the alpha and omega in the classroom. And Prof, as well as Dr. You are a researcher. What is the role? What is the role of researchers? How does it evolve right now?
Yeah, I think with Dr. Lawrence here, he has been able to really highlight, and even in the presentation, the different roles that will come because of AI. But one thing that is very clear is that the researchers have to really continue to redefine the outputs. You know, we are saying that we do not want to lose, we do not want to create a mongrel from AI that takes over the role of thinking and directing the entire process. Of course, abdicating our role, our duty as a researcher, as researchers. So we have to continue to redefine the key outputs. It's just like my PPP, we have to be the principal who is assigning the agent. Now the agent here becomes the AI, which is now a tool that we are using to rediscover or to manage, if it is our infrastructure, if it's our education, if it is our research output, if it's the number of publications, because in academia, again, we are very keen on publish or perish. So again, the researchers, their role for me will continue to be there, because you are the one to really guide and give the final outputs or give the final destination, so that the AI just becomes a tool of helping you to achieve or to reach there. But before I continue that, I wanted a very pressing one. Dr. Lawrence will correct me on that. On this integrating these AI tools, one of the challenges that we're facing, but I know the government has been addressing the same, is the issue of the penetration of internet. I don't know how, like in places like West Pokot, for example, if you want to teach AI and use the tools, where some of the locations in Kenya are still relying on 2G network. I don't know the role of network and the use of the AI tools. You will help me understand that later. But what you're saying is that the researchers will have to continue to redefine the tasks or the key deliverables. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. We can move to the next question. Then I will request Prof to give an input to the next question in the interest of time. All right, thank you. So maybe I can just, some of the questions actually we are looking at have been addressed by the keynote speaker, so we might skip some of them for that. So I will move to question, I think 4. Not 4, but for question 5. To what extent should AI be used by students for education purposes, for example? What do you consider to be the extent? Is it to do the assignments? Should they be allowed to use the same for exams? To what extent? Thank you.
Thank you so much for this very good question. Remember, that's where we are now. And I like this discussion because it's really triggering our minds on what we should do. In fact, the earlier one, I was just about to say the teacher is a facilitator. The teacher is also a model, because even as we give these assignments, there's a very simple example was being given. You give a question, you've gotten this question from the chat GPT, then the student will just go to the same and give you the same direct answers. So these are some of the dilemmas that where we had. And of course, like you've been told, the teaching can be powered by this AI. The assignments which assist the students even to come up, the engagement. I'm just imagining the way we've been teaching the earlier days. Now we have to look at the past. It's already past. Just stand with the notes. Sometimes we call them yellow color notes. And you're there reading for the students. It's now overtaken by events. So you have to think of those strategies that empower students to even get engaged. We've even been told about the games. You can include the videos and it becomes more exciting. So these assignments that we give to the students, this learning should In fact, that brings the CBC with us. It's learner-centered. It's the learner doing. Can you see the way AI can assist in this teaching? Because now the learner is there at the forefront doing the business. When you bring the video, it is the learner getting engaged. So it's cutting across in all these, in our teaching in the class, in our assignments, in group work, in projects. Can you see the AI in projects, in field attachment activities? It's really cutting a lot across. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Maybe Lawrence, you can tell us in JKUAT, are you using AI for exams? I have a colleague at USIU who is teaching AI, and in one of the conferences, she said she allows students to use AI for the exam. And the argument was the way the exams are set, like the keynote speaker talked about, the students, the AI has very little or no input to answers of such questions. So, in JKUAT, are you using it?
Yeah, so thank you so much, and thank you for that question, because it's a question that realistically talks about what is happening really in the ground. I would say this. For me, when I give students my work, one of the things that I have come to appreciate is that you need to examine high level. You need to move from the low level. Whichever way you are doing, you need to move from the low level examination. And using AI, telling a student, for example, to use AI, I do that. I'll tell them, for example, this question, whichever tool you have, you can go and use it. When I say any tool that you have the capability to access to, it means they can use whatever they have. But when I have set the question the way I have done it, there is context that are brought about, for example, if it's coding, maybe solving a problem. Like I might tell them, I want them to design a solution that is able to manage the cafeteria. I give the context within what the cafeteria at JKUAT looks like. So the tables, the way they are arranged, I then want them to be able to occupy the first table that is labeled like this. They have the knowledge about the cafeteria, the way it looks like at JKUAT. They will use AI. Of course, I expect them to use AI to be able to improve, to use it. But what they will do is that the answer they will give, they'll have to think further than what they'll get direct answers. And that's why now I'm saying that to me, it's not an enemy. There are some exams that they cannot use it, because some exams, even going with electronic gadgets, is not acceptable. Yeah. So those ones do exist, and we have them. But there are those ones that I usually tell them, guys, I'm open to you, even like homeworks that I give them. I tell them, I'm open to you using any tool. For some of them, I'll tell them, any tool that you have access to. And I would want to say this. For me, AI is not just a tool. Actually, a tool is, you know, when we say a tool, we are saying that we are, think of it this way. If you are a farmer and we give you a djembe, we are giving you a tool. Yeah. We give you a tractor, we are giving you a tool. Yeah. What if we give you another robot that can make decision on where to be able to plant? Are we still giving you a tool, or we are giving you your replica? Because that's something that we have to think. Because AI, the potentiality is massive, in the sense that even as a farmer, it can be able, you can teach it to be able to do the digging that the tractor can do. The tractor that is intelligent, it can be able to decide on what to be able to do, because it's possible to get that data. So in other words, what I'm saying is that the tool, it's still at a lower level. AI is more than just a tool. So use it to make sure that the runner is able to be better, to compete. In fact, the argument is that in terms of resource capability and what they can do, to compete at a very high rate, high level, in terms of even the answers that they give you, because what the issue is that they are getting more, they just need to add the context. For my conclusion on that is that as instructors, we need to think about problem solving, the problems that we have in this country.
Okay.
Instead of telling students to be able to solve a problem out there, why not allow them to go out there and develop a solution that can help maybe a farmer who has a problem with some diseases with the chicken that he's farming. That way, the students will go through the whole cycle of generating solutions all the way up to the end. And this is one thing that I've seen is very important. Projects that are geared towards real-life projects. I would recommend to all the all instructors or educators, look at the 21st century running design.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Now we move to the last bit. We want to invite two questions in the interest of time from the audience. And as you prepare for that, in Norway, are you using AI in exams?
I'm not sure what's the status of that, but at least I know I'm teaching in the Oslo Metropolitan University, and we had this discussion of what they can use for the exam. And it was back and forth, and it fall down on this and this. So, and I said, oh no, what about the handwriting? I'm going to struggle with that. So I'm not sure, but just to add a comment, I think if the students are good at critical thinking and you take something from AI and you give your own comments on that, the problem is that then they take comments on something from the AI to get a comment. So it's very difficult, but I agree, it depends also on the subject that is for the exam.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. So we will take the first question, which I will request Dr. Daniel to respond to it. And the second question, I will request Professor Nyaga to respond to it so that we can close. Thank you so much. Let's start with Prof. I think we're going to do 3 because of Prof.
Yeah, thank you very much. Maybe just a clarification, and which I would like to know. There is this issue that currently we have a lot of information which is available for our students and so on. So is there really any need of subjecting these students to a lot of critical thinking? Why can't they just access that information and use it? Maybe I would like to have some comment on that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, our panelists, Dr. Lawrence, Dr. Daniel, and Erickson. Thank you so much, plus Prof. Now my concern was the use of AI, specifically in terms of exams. Sometimes we give our students exams, what you call work-based exams. They use the AI tools, ChatGPT. They just give you a copy. When you mark, they score very highly. Then when we now give them a sit-in cut, they score 0.3, 0.4. So the challenge is, if we have to use these tools to give students access when they are sitting for their work-based, then we should look for a way of also allowing them to use the same during the main exam. Otherwise, we are creating a group of people who will be dependent so much on AI tools, and I'm happy, Dr. You said AI is more than a tool. I'm happy for that. So they'll be using these tools to generate straight answers, but when it comes to now real critical thinking in the classroom, when they are sitting down for a written exam, they have no information at all. Thank you.
Good morning. Let me direct my question to Dr. Lawrence, who has given us a good discussion on the same. So I have a question on the generative adversarial network that you have talked about. And I'm happy because I'm doing my research on the same, whereby you get, we have a generator and discriminator. So the generator generates images, and the work of the discriminator is to judge. And then it is becoming actually opaque to differentiate between the real and the unreal. Because nowadays, even the internet, you can see a dog holding a kid. That is unreal, that is just generated images. So in the near future, I will say, I want to differentiate between the real thing and the unreal thing. And also on, you can also comment on, because AI is like, it is killing thinking in the classroom and increasing thinking outside the classroom because of the scamming. So what can you say on that? Thank you.
So upon request, you're going to allow the questions, but obviously some of them are going to be answered over tea, right? Yes. So if you had a question, please do ask.
Yeah, my question is whether we are just staring at the death of reading culture. because AI itself doesn't have information on its own. It just gets it from internet and other sources that are available. So that if the student just learn to rely on that information, the click of a button, and sometimes this tool is even not 100% accurate, and sometimes they cook references. So how reliable is this? Is it training us to be lazy in getting the accurate information?
Thank you very much. First, I would like to appreciate the presentation, very good on AI. Mine is to ask this question, are we staring at a point where the lecturers and the teachers actually is going to come from AI? So that, because if AI can really, organize learning, why then can't we have the tutors and the lecturers and the teachers being AI, so that also in terms of the examining, AI can give an exam and mark, so that the human element of now being not able to compete with the AI can now be? Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the very informative presentation on AI. My question might sound a bit out of education mainstream, but it still touches on education. I'm a nurse by profession, and I'm an educator. We educate both the public and the students to be able to deal with the public. Now, how can AI, or is there already AI in the AI tool answers for what our patients who are the public now may get the answers? We are now at a stage that, as a developing country, or as a country in low resource or limited resource areas, we are already having a population of very informed persons who are retiring with a lot of, and they are faced with a lot of chronic illnesses which make them live at home, and we encourage that they live with them at home and we take care of them from there. How can AI help such patients so that they, at the click of a button, I'm having a different feeling today and I'm hypertensive. How do I handle myself? Ours is very practical. It may sound a bit odd from the education classroom, but it is reality. Thank you.
Yeah, I remember you said I'll answer. Now, I'm not like Dr. Lawrence. Dr. Lawrence is going to summarize this, but I was just getting interested from Mr. Kiplagat. We cannot just take away the human being. Remember, from Erickson, it's all about people. And even he went further to the family. So this AI cannot take that space anyway. That is what Dr. Lawrence would tell us. Then from Prof, the critical thinking has to be there. Remember, some of the information that is in the store could be outdated. And we are in another area now. So still, we have to keep on thinking. Now, let me stop there. Dr. Lawrence, you may have to sum it up. Yes?
Yeah, even now answer then Dr. Lawrence. I think Dr. Lawrence will answer because he will crown it all. He is the expert actually in this area. I will start with the Dr. who is in the health profession. You have seen Murang'a County trying to use what we are calling the telemedicine kind of thinking. Although it is not full AI as Dr. Lawrence will tell us, but there's some element of AI in the way that you can diagnose a patient. When you're in India, when the patient is in Murang'a, using the telemedicine technology. Just providing their computers and systems that can enable the health technician who is in Murang'a or who is in Kenya connect with the other technician in India or any other country in the world, or even the use of robotics. There is increased use of robotics, and Dr. Lawrence will attest to that, in dealing with serious issues, including of surgery and other. Again, there is some element of integrating that AI into the health profession or health practices, because some of the diseases, of course, Kenyans are spending a lot of money to go to India and other countries, and therefore we should accept AI in such areas. Then the other question was whether AI can become, of course, can interfere with the intelligence or can interfere with what you know as human beings. Yes, some of the information that we have been relying on as lecturers, for example, or tutors. I'm also a lecturer at University of Nairobi and Strathmore. You realize that some of the notes that Prof was referring to, we sometimes tend to use very old notes. So AI, of course, is not replacing the human intelligence, but it is just a tool to advance you to, again, come up with better current data. That's why even in publishing, we normally tell people, don't go to publications that are beyond 5 years. In other words, we want to run current data, because the technology, the information is evolving and evolving. So AI, in my opinion, will not replace us, but we can use it, we can leverage it to do or resolve many issues. Before I give it to Dr. Lawrence, of course, AI in exams. I think he has been alluding to that, that you need to come up with a way of setting higher expectations, because you know, students, even when you're supervising, they may hand a mobile phone, and they sneak it into the exam. So you have to set an exam that really tests the applicability of knowledge, because exams is about examining whether you are able as a student to use or to apply what you know to solve a certain problem.
Thank you so much for that, Dr. Lawrence. 2 minutes, then a minute, then Dr. Lawrence 2 minutes, then we can close it. Thank you.
Just to comment on two things about how to do exams in different steps. If you can use AI in the first step, and then you shut down all possibilities to go to AI, and then they have to reflect on that part that they have taken down from the AI. Could be some, like I said, also oral testing to do both, to check out if they are thinking, critical thinking. And about changing the teacher to robots, I think that's a good idea, actually. Why is that? Because we have so many students, and we are not able to attend to them. So if we can take off some load and be a mentor, a counselor, talk more to the students, we people talk to people, and the AI will just give the answers, and you can talk to them, but I don't know if they are a really good friend. So I think it's good that we can use the people more efficiently.
Thank you so much for that. Dr. Lawrence, conclude with 2 minutes.
Yes. First of all, I think to start up with that question of where we are saying having AI being used as a substitute for teachers, there is an experiment that is being done. I can't remember exactly which university, but I read that story very well in US, where the students are even liking it, having a robot or even a robot being able to teach them. The idea is that, as I said, the teacher is not outside of the room. And we have said here, your work at that level is to be able to deal with the problems that human beings face, to be more human rather than, and allow these people to get custom running. I'm saying, my view is that for personalized learning, we are actually at the beginning. And the role of a lecturer will have to evolve very much to be able to be helpful to the teaching environment where AI is being used. Consider a class where we are using those robots to be able to provide personalized teaching. So an individual, it knows, for you, even remembering names of students, all of them in a class of about 50, is problematic.
So an AI system sees your face, has all your data, has all data. You can imagine the amount of improvement that can bring in terms of personalization. So I would say it's even good that it can be done. And actually, that is where now the height of personalization, I would say, comes in perfectly. The other thing that has been asked is whether there's an opportunity for us to let, now that everything is out there online and there's a lot of information, why don't we then conclude that you just come out of that and you're well covered? I think as lecturers, we need to be aware of one thing. When the photocopying of papers was discovered, or when it started, there are even lecturers, there is a picture of lecturers on the street holding packets saying that we are going to create weak people who cannot be able to think, when printing started. Who doesn't know the story of the calculator? When the calculator started, we said that we are going to have students who don't know how to do the calculations and all that. AI has come, so what are we saying? That we will have students who cannot be able to create more new knowledge. Yet, the truth is that context exists. Hallucination is a problem with AI that we'll need to do. Another very important thing, AI, and has been said, will become better. That's given. You can live on your own, but it will become better. Today, it might achieve a percentage of about 20% in solving a certain problem. In a few years or a few months, you find that problem being solved perfectly by AI. Another question that has been asked on the issue of AI being used in nursing. That's a very good question. We already have a solution that is called AI Bomber Mtaani, which is a solution that takes, the argument is that healthcare should not be in hospital. Healthcare should be at home, because that's, you understand that issues of primary healthcare being at home. Most people are considering that to be the ideal case. Healthcare being at home. So what it does is that it is able to collect data about what you eat. You know, when you go to a doctor, you just tell them just the highlight of what you have found without telling them some of the other things. How about if we have sensors that can collect data on how you have walked, the food that you have ate, all this kind of information is integrated to a profile that you have, and then we can be able to provide what we call customized level of medication or healthcare at your level. And that is happening. AI Bomber Mtaani is a real solution that is taking care of that. It's being pushed with the Ministry of Health. It's a concept that is of course, we will need the ministry to approve it, which is happening, and I think that is something that will take. My final conclusion, because of time, I would say this, that wherever you are, it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter what you do. The issue is, take time and understand how these things work. Because the students that you are teaching are not as old as you are. And they are not as bored as you may be by the fact that these things have come so much. They need, in fact, somebody mentioned, to conclude, somebody mentioned about research and said that today if you are doing research, I can download about 40 papers or more, go to Scholar AI, and have those papers summarized in a way that the reading is very easy for me, even as a lecturer, to understand what those all, you can imagine the proceedings of a conference, a whole conference that goes for a whole 1 week. I can be able to get that within a very short time and get what were these guys talking about, and then what can I start, as a researcher, start working on. This is how far we have gone. So let us not be on our cocoon. AI is with us. We need to take advantage of it and not be like dinosaurs who will say, oh, it's not going to come, and then we find ourselves gone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that. This moment we shall end this session. You can ask more questions to the panelists over tea, and I will hand over back to Professor Nyaga. Thank you so much.
Wow. This is what we needed. I'm sure everyone has gotten where we need to be, isn't it? Yes. If I started asking Dr. Obote, where umesoma nini, what? Have you heard what Dr. Lawrence has summed up with? It is already there. And the last thing he said is that, what about within this conference? If I just wanted to know what I want to get from it, and I was saying, I think I should go and do that. So it's there with us. Let's take it up. Also about the policy, that's what we are going to take up as an institution, because we are talking about these things. We are ready to come up with the policy, and Kevin, I'm already giving you the task in the ICT department. Take up that. Delegates, we have to end, and we really want to appreciate the team here. It was well done, and it was timely. Let's appreciate the team as they get to their seat. Yeah, we can get back to our seat so that director will tell us, where is director?
The director is not around with us. Of course, we are able to just come and take over the schedule so that you guide us. Me, I was in the panel, you know.
Thank you so much, DVC and one of the panelists. So can we appreciate the panelists with the 4 factorials? 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much. I think for now we shall proceed directly to take a cup of tea. That is the breakfast. And we need to do it briefly because tumepitisha masaa kiasi. So can we do it in 20 minutes? Sasa, we do it in 20 minutes and then from there we shall break in different rooms. So from there what I can say, just as I said yesterday, the chair of the sessions and the rapporteurs organize so that you have all your presenters can give out the presentation such that it doesn't take a lot of time for somebody to carry the laptop and do the connections. So once again I say thank you so much. I'm hoping that Dr. Lawrence, we shall have you tomorrow. You are going today? So DVC, because he is leaving today, let's appreciate him.
You can see that we are excited. We just feel like saying thank you, and come again. Now we have your contact, and we have the team, the ICT, the computer science department, the Odell. We are going to work together. You can see the way it's useful. Delegates and especially members of this university. We need a lot. We need to turn our minds and get to what is needed at this particular time. So Dr. Lawrence, we are very grateful. We are together with the Jomo Kenyatta University, even on the ethics for the research, that is institutional ethics team, the committee. We aim to take our team there so that they can learn from you. You are one of the best performing universities in Kenya, especially in the area of agriculture and technology. So Tharaka University fraternity, we are ready to learn from Jomo Kenyatta University. So we are already networking. We are partners. We are partners. You know, these partners can be public, they can be private, and so forth. So at this particular juncture, I'll request or invite Prof, our DVC, just to appreciate with the gift that is here, and feel at Tharaka, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are saying that. So kindly rise up, and Prof, you can appreciate Dr. Lawrence.
Lawrence, thank you very much for the presentation which you have given us. There is no better way we can be able to appreciate you. But I think we have a small gift here, which I think you may need it. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. So thank you so much. Please let's proceed. Those who are serving, please. We can have the chief guests, you taking the breakfast first, please.